For 12 million years, every civilization believed Earth's moon was nothing more than a silent, lifeless rock. A beautiful ornament hanging in the night sky. Nothing more. They were wrong. Because on the day the galaxy decided to steal it, the moon did something no one had ever witnessed before. It began to beat, not with light, not with energy, but like the heartbeat of something that had been asleep, waiting for someone to move it. The Grand Assembly of the Galactic Council was unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Thousands of representatives from across the known galaxy filled the colossal chamber. Towering insectoid queens, living crystal diplomats, machine intelligences wrapped in fields of blue light, ancient reptilian emperors, species separated by millions of years of evolution, united under one government. At the center floated a holographic image of Earth. High Chancellor Vorik slowly stood from his throne. His deep crimson armor reflected the light of 1,000 stars. His voice echoed across the chamber. For centuries, humanity has expanded beyond every prediction. They establish colonies faster than any known civilization. They reverse-engineered technology we considered impossible. They influence younger races. They ignore council authority. A massive projection appeared behind him. Human trade routes, human research stations, human diplomatic alliances. Every year, Earth's influence grew stronger. Vorik narrowed his eyes. They have become unpredictable. Murmurs spread across the chamber. An elderly council member raised a question. Do they possess illegal weapons? No. Have they attacked council worlds? No. Then why classify them as a threat? Vorik smiled. Because history teaches one lesson. The civilizations you fail to control eventually control you. Silence. The Chancellor raised one hand. The Council therefore proposes Strategic Resolution 7. The hologram changed. Earth's moon slowly rotated before every delegate. Gasps filled the chamber. The Lunar Confiscation Act. Several delegates looked confused. A moon? Why? Vorik's smile widened. Because humanity values symbols. If we take their greatest symbol, we remind them who truly governs this galaxy. Some delegates laughed. Others nodded in agreement. One crystalline ambassador hesitated. Our scans show no military value. No rare resources. No strategic advantage. It is only a moon. Vorik answered calmly. Exactly. The perfect demonstration. We don't need to destroy Earth. We only need to humble it. The chamber erupted into applause. Thousands of delegates voted. Green lights spread across the colossal hall. Resolution approved. Earth's moon now officially belonged to the Galactic Council. Deep beneath the Himalayas, inside humanity's planetary defense command, no alarms sounded, no panic spread, no emergency meetings. Instead, Commander Elias Ward quietly watched the council broadcast end. Around him, scientists waited. Military officers exchanged nervous glances. One young lieutenant finally broke the silence. Sir, they're taking the moon. Shouldn't we mobilize the fleet? Elias didn't answer immediately. He simply looked at the holographic image of the moon. Then, he smiled. A very small smile. Doctor. Sarah Chen noticed it instantly. You expected this, she whispered. Elias finally spoke. No, I hope they'd never make this mistake. The room fell silent. The lieutenant frowned. Mistake. They're stealing our moon. Elias looked directly at him. No, they're stealing something they were never supposed to touch. Every scientist in the room slowly turned toward Drive. Sarah Chen. She hesitated, then opened a heavily encrypted file. Classification. Omega Black Access. Keepers only. Her fingers trembled. I never thought we'd have to open this. The screen displayed a single sentence. Project Luna status. Do not activate. Unless the moon moves. Silence. Absolute silence. The young lieutenant stared at the words. What does that mean? Nobody answered. Because no one in the room wanted to find out. 3 days later, the largest alien fleet ever assembled entered the solar system. Over 6,000 warships, gravity tugs, planetary engines, orbital construction platforms. The entire galaxy watched the operation live. News channels celebrated. This marks humanity's peaceful submission. Today the Council demonstrates true unity. Earth has wisely chosen not to resist. Across Earth, billions of humans simply watched. No protests, no fleets, no weapons, only silence. High Chancellor Vorik smiled from aboard his flagship. I expected more. So did I, replied one admiral. The Chancellor raised one hand. Begin extraction. Gigantic gravitational anchors locked onto the moon. Blue energy wrapped around its surface. For the first time in billions of years, Earth's moon moved exactly 2 centimeters. Then, every ship froze, every screen flickered, every sensor across the fleet detected the same impossible signal. Thump. A deep vibration echoed through space. Not an explosion, not an engine, a heartbeat. One single heartbeat. And somewhere, far beneath the moon's silent surface, something opened its eyes. The heartbeat echoed across the solar system. Once, only once, yet every sensor aboard every alien warship detected it. No engine signature, no seismic activity, no known energy source, just a heartbeat. Silence swallowed the bridge of High Chancellor Vorik's flagship. Thousands of officers stared at their displays. One by one, the warning indicators began turning red. An elderly navigation officer finally broke the silence. Chancellor, our instruments are malfunctioning. Vorik frowned. Explain. The moon. It's emitting biological wave patterns. Several officers laughed. A biological moon? Impossible. The chief science officer quickly interrupted. No, he's telling the truth. The holographic display enlarged. Instead of solid rock, billions of microscopic energy pulses spread beneath the moon's crust. Perfectly synchronized, like blood flowing through invisible veins. Vorik's confident smile disappeared. Run another scan. We already have. Then run it again. We've repeated it 12 times. The results are identical. The moon was alive, far below Earth's surface. Inside Project Luna Command, no one looked surprised. Commander Elias Ward folded his arms. Doctor. Sarah Chen quietly closed her eyes. It finally happened, she whispered. One young technician looked terrified. What exactly woke up? Sarah hesitated. We don't know. You don't know. She slowly shook her head. My team spent 20 years studying classified fragments. We learned one thing. The moon was never built to protect humanity. The room fell silent. It was built to protect something else. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council broadcast continued across billions of worlds. Commentators forced nervous smiles. A minor gravitational anomaly. Nothing more. But viewers noticed something strange. The moon's surface was changing. Ancient cracks appeared across enormous craters. Silver lines spread like glowing rivers. One by one, perfect geometric symbols emerged. Symbols that no civilization had ever recorded. Every archaeologist, every AI historian, every galactic archive, returned the same answer. No match found. Aboard the Council flagship, Chief Scientist Virex activated the deepest planetary scan ever attempted. Quantum tomography, neutrino imaging, dark matter resonance. The results appeared. Then, the computer froze. Smoke rose from the console. What happened? The processor overloaded. Impossible. We've never seen calculations like these. The backup system finished processing. Age estimate: 12,403,882 years. Artificial composition: 99.997% natural rock, 0.003%. The bridge became completely silent. Vorik stared at the report. No, that's impossible. The moon isn't natural. Virex swallowed hard. No, Chancellor, it never was. Across Earth, every classified military installation received the same encrypted message. Omega Black Keeper Protocol standby. Military commanders looked toward the moon. Some smiled, others looked afraid. None spoke, because every Keeper family carried the same ancient instruction. If the moon ever moves, do not interfere. Do not stop it. Let it awaken. Inside the alien fleet, massive gravity engines continued pulling. Another 2 centimeters. Then another. Suddenly, every gravitational anchor shut down simultaneously. Without warning. No explosion. No failure. They simply released. Engineers shouted. We've lost control. Restart the anchors. They're not responding. Override them. Nothing is answering. Then every screen aboard 6,000 warships turned black. One sentence slowly appeared, in a language no living civilization had ever seen. Seconds later, every translator in the galaxy decoded it automatically. Warning: authorization accepted, primary key has been moved, keeper identity verifying. The message vanished. A deep mechanical sound rolled through space. Not from the fleet, not from Earth, from inside the moon. An enormous circular crater near the lunar south pole began to rotate. Mountains shifted. Entire valleys folded inward. Dust storms rose thousands of kilometers high. The moon was opening. Back inside Project Luna, Dr. Sarah Chen's face turned pale. She stared at the live feed. No. Commander Elias looked at her. You know what that is? Sarah nodded slowly. I prayed I would never see it. The young lieutenant whispered, what is opening? Sarah answered with trembling lips. The door. Before anyone could ask another question, a voice echoed across every human command center. Every alien flagship, every satellite, every communication system in the solar system. Calm, ancient, neither human, nor alien. Keeper verification, accepted. Awakening custodian intelligence. Designation, ASTRAEUS. Estimated dormancy, 12,403,882 years. The transmission paused. Then came one final sentence. The sentence that turned even Commander Elias Ward silent. Welcome back. Humanity. Welcome back. Humanity. The voice disappeared. No explosion. No music. No dramatic flash of light. Only silence. The kind of silence that makes every living creature instinctively afraid. Across the galaxy, every communication relay stopped transmitting. Military satellites froze. Navigation beacons shut down. Ancient observatories that had remained inactive for millions of years suddenly powered on by themselves. One after another, hidden signals began spreading across the stars. No civilization understood why. Inside the Galactic Council flagship, nobody spoke. High Chancellor Vorik slowly turned toward his chief scientist. Tell me. That voice came from the moon. Professor Virax couldn't answer immediately. His hands were shaking. Finally, he nodded. Yes. Vorik clenched his fists. What exactly have we awakened? Before anyone answered, every display aboard the flagship suddenly changed. The council logo disappeared. A new symbol appeared. A perfect silver circle, surrounded by 12 glowing stars. Below it, ancient letters slowly translated themselves. The keepers have returned. Several officers instinctively stepped backwards. One whispered, I've seen this symbol before. Everyone turned toward him. He swallowed. It exists. Inside forbidden archives. Vorik frowned. What archives? The oldest ones. The ones even the council sealed. Deep beneath the council capital. Automatic security systems awakened. Massive vault doors that had never opened in recorded history slowly unlocked. Dust filled the air. Ancient holograms flickered to life. An emergency AI activated. Its first words echoed through the empty chamber. Priority Alpha. Keeper civilization detected. Release all classified historical records. Millions of encrypted files unlocked simultaneously. The oldest secret in galactic history was no longer secret. Back inside Project Luna, Commander Elias Ward never looked away from the moon. Dr. Sarah Chen quietly whispered, it remembers us. The young lieutenant stared at her. How can a machine remember humanity after 12 million years? Sarah smiled sadly. Because it wasn't programmed. It waited. She opened another classified archive. Level Omega Black Access. Keepers. Only a single sentence appeared. If ASTRAEUS ever awakens, humanity has already failed. The room became completely silent. The lieutenant looked confused. Failed? I don't understand. Sarah slowly closed the file. Neither do I, and that's what terrifies me. Meanwhile, inside the moon, for the very first time, the audience finally saw it. An enormous chamber, larger than entire cities. Its walls weren't metal. They weren't stone. They looked alive. Billions of blue energy veins stretched across the chamber. At its center, A colossal sphere floated above the floor. Nearly 2 kilometers wide, slowly rotating. Ancient symbols covered its surface. One by one, they began glowing. Then, the sphere unfolded. Thousands of moving layers separated with impossible precision. Inside, a single blue eye opened. Not human, not alien, artificial, yet somehow, it felt alive. ASTRAEUS, the first custodian intelligence. Its voice echoed across the chamber. Scanning. Genetic verification. Complete. DNA integrity. 99.98%. Human lineage confirmed. It paused. Processing. Then asked a question that froze every human listening. Why did you abandon the network? Commander Elias slowly lowered his head. No. He whispered. We didn't abandon it. We forgot. At that exact moment, far beyond the Milky Way, in the darkness between galaxies, something heard ASTRAEUS awaken. A gigantic object, larger than planets, opened thousands of crimson eyes. Another, then millions. A cold mechanical voice echoed through the void. Custodian Network, reactivated. Target civilization located. Resume. The Harvest. Back in the solar system. Nobody knew what had just awakened. But ASTRAEUS did. Its glowing eye slowly turned toward deep space. For the first time in over 12 million years, the ancient AI sounded afraid. They found us, it whispered. Then every light inside the moon suddenly turned blood red. Emergency alarms echoed through every chamber. Warning. Extragalactic contact detected. Warning. The Harvesters are coming. Commander Elias closed his eyes. He had spent his entire life preparing for this moment. Yet hearing those words still sent a chill through his spine. Because humanity had just learned the truth. The moon was never built to protect Earth. It was built to hide Earth. The moon was never built to protect Earth. It was built to hide Earth. No one spoke. Not aboard the alien fleet. Not inside Project Luna. Not even High Chancellor Vorik. For the first time in his political career, the most powerful leader in the galaxy had absolutely no idea what to do. Commander Elias Ward slowly looked toward ASTRAEUS. You knew this day would come. The ancient AI remained silent. Then, it answered, yes, I calculated, a 99.9994% probability. Dr. Sarah Chen stepped forward. If you knew, why didn't you wake sooner? The AI's glowing eye dimmed. Because humanity was not ready. Every screen inside Project Luna suddenly changed. The moon projected an enormous three-dimensional star map. Not hundreds, not thousands, millions of stars filled the room. Then, one by one, tiny blue lights began appearing across the galaxy. Every blue light represented an ancient structure. A station, a fortress, a gateway, a defense platform. Millions of them, dormant, waiting. ASTRAEUS spoke calmly. The Custodian Network is online. Dr. Sarah whispered, my God. Commander Elias looked confused. How many? The AI answered. Known installations, 3,214,000. Still operational. Every person in the room stopped breathing. 3 million, hidden across the galaxy. Meanwhile, inside the Galactic Council capital, emergency sirens echoed through every government building. Ancient archives continued unlocking themselves. A forgotten recording suddenly appeared. Its timestamp stunned every historian. Recorded, 12,403,882 years ago. The image activated. A human appeared, not wearing armor, not carrying weapons, simply standing beneath an unfamiliar sky. He looked directly into the recording. If you're seeing this, then someone moved the moon. He paused. And if someone moved the moon, then we have failed. Historians stared in disbelief. One elderly researcher whispered, he's human. Another shook his head. No, he's older than every civilization we've ever discovered. The recording continued. My name is Orion Ward. I was the first keeper. Commander Elias froze. Ward, the same family name. His breathing became uneven. Dr. Sarah slowly looked toward him. You knew. Elias lowered his eyes. My family guarded a secret I never imagined. It was this. Suddenly, ASTRAEUS interrupted. Incoming transmission. The holographic map zoomed outward, past the solar system, past the Orion Arm, past the edge of the Milky Way. Then, something appeared. A wall, an impossible wall, stretching across intergalactic space, not built from stone, not metal. Entire stars had been connected together, a barrier larger than imagination itself. Every alien watching fell silent. What is that? ASTRAEUS answered. The shield. It protected this galaxy for 12 million years. Doctor. Sarah stared at the projection. Protected us. From what? The AI did not answer immediately. Instead, the wall began breaking apart. One star went dark, then another, then hundreds more. The barrier was collapsing. Deep beyond the broken shield, darkness moved. Not ships, not planets. Something alive. Thousands of colossal silhouettes drifted through the void. Each one larger than moons. Millions of crimson eyes slowly opened. The same mechanical voice echoed once again. The hiding place has been found. Initiating harvest. Inside the Council flagship, High Chancellor Vorik collapsed into his command chair. Everything he believed, everything the Council believed, was wrong. Earth wasn't hidden because it was weak. Earth was hidden because it was dangerous to be found. He slowly turned toward the live image of Commander Elias Ward. For the first time, the Chancellor lowered his head. We judged your species, without knowing the truth. Commander Elias answered quietly. No, you judged the wrong enemy. ASTRAEUS suddenly projected another image. Mars, then Europa, then Titan, then the asteroid belt. Ancient symbols appeared across each world. One after another, massive structures rose from beneath their surfaces. Planet-sized rings, orbital cannons, defense platforms, gateways. The entire solar system was transforming. It had never been an ordinary planetary system. It was a fortress. Every alien fleet immediately raised its weapons. Not against humanity, against the darkness approaching from beyond the galaxy. Old rivalries disappeared. Ancient enemies stood together. The Galactic Council, the Orion Collective, the Karth Dominion, the Vex Imperium. Every civilization prepared for the same battle. Not because humanity demanded it. Because survival demanded it. Commander Elias looked toward Earth. Billions of people were watching the same sky. Children, families, scientists, soldiers. For generations, they believed the moon simply lit the night. Now, they understood. It had been watching over them all along. ASTRAEUS spoke one final time. Commander, the Keepers have returned. It is time to choose. Elias smiled, not with pride, with responsibility. My ancestors didn't build these defenses. They protected everyone. We'll do the same. He looked directly toward the approaching darkness. Then gave the order humanity had unknowingly been preparing for over 12 million years. Activate the Custodian Network. Across the galaxy, 3 million ancient installations awakened together. Countless gateways ignited. Planet-sized defense platforms unfolded. Stars pulsed with blue energy. The galaxy itself was waking up, far beyond the broken shield. The Harvesters stopped. For the first time, the ancient enemy hesitated. One voice echoed through the void. The Keepers still exist. The screen faded to black. One final sentence appeared. They stole Earth's moon, and awakened the last defenders of the galaxy. End. Thanks for watching. If you love epic sci-fi stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to HFY Sci-Fi for more unforgettable adventures across the galaxy. See you in the next story.